Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of the Roselle Project. Today is the make or break day when it comes to this entire renovation. Today is the day we find out whether or not we pass our rough inspections, meaning our mechanical, electrical, plumbing, building, fire, everything. If we don't pass this, then this whole project gets halted and the project gets destroyed, because then we have all these holding costs building up and all of that. But let's go see the property, see what work has been done, and we'll see whether or not we're gonna be able to pass this and move on to the next step. Let's check it out. So we're back in the property. So far, so good. Everything looks like it's been coming according to plan. As we came here within our last episode, we were still working on the framing to make sure everything was all framed out to be exactly how we wanted with our layout, to make sure that we coordinate towards that single family look. But we also were leveling up the main beams to make sure that it's all flush ceiling look. But it looks like right now we also have included all of the HVAC systems, because as we were informed in our last episode with Fernando, we're going to be getting rid of all that baseboard and window AC units, and we're going to be putting all central systems, which is going to be great to hear because that's all going to fit within our budget. And also it's going to be extremely more appealing for that retail buyer, because the last thing that a retail buyer wants to deal with is dealing with all these old systems that are faulty and needing to, adjust a bunch of things. Having that centralized system where it's just, click a button and it goes right there for you is definitely going to be a no-brainer to make sure everything is all good. On terms of the electrical side of things, we're going to be doing recessed lighting. So you can already see the recessed lighting trays that are up in the ceilings. That's going to be great because, especially when Fernando was mentioning last time, comes time for our rough inspections to be completed, we're going to have to be putting up sheetrock afterwards. And the last thing you want is to be cutting up a bunch of holes and then repatching. So having these little trays, these little mounts, is going to have it so it's already set for you. And then you can basically just seamlessly cut a perfect hole and you already know where it's at. And we don't have to deal with a bunch of untidy looking sheetrocking, which is going to be great as well, because it's really going to come out to that perfected quality that people come to expect in today's market as well. The name of the game with development is really attention to detail and the quality of the work that you do. And you can see every time we're done with a phase of work, we make sure our job sites are completely clean. We make sure that we are completely on time with everything. And I also was informed with Fernando as well that we did pass all of our inspections except for the installation inspection. We have that scheduled out for Monday. Right now it's Friday. But once we pass our installation inspection on Monday, then we're pretty much going to be all set to go with our sheetrocking, and then we'll be good to go for our finishes as well. So we're pretty much in the home stretch right now when it comes to actually getting this project underway. And so far I have not had any issues because we have a great team behind us. Fernando and the crew, we have Nino on the design side, myself as well, kind of spearheading everything. So it's definitely great that we have all this collaborative energy and all of our combined experience to create something super magical for that end user. So before we get off into the other parts of the house, we could show off some of the stuff that we included for our kitchen. So you can see some of the electrical outlets are placed right here. So this is going to be right where the countertop will be. You will have a nice access to outlets, which is super convenient if you ever want to plug in a blender or a toaster or whatever you want to put in. We also have our gas line right here for our stove. So we have our gas stove, which will then be connected right here to the same system for our hood, which is going to be also connected to our HVAC, and everything is going to be all seamlessly together. And we're going to see it when we go down to the basement as well. All the plumbing is kind of on one side of the house, which makes it super easy when it comes time for maintenance. And it's great because we're also going to show off how we redid all of our plumbing and all that. Right here, you can see the hookup as well for the refrigerator. So if you ever wanted to plug in like any water line or anything to put like a water dispenser from your refrigerator, you have that right there, as well as with the outlet. So the outlet could just plug in for the refrigerator all seamlessly. So going into the family bathroom, it's going to be huge because, again, this is going to be the place where families are really just going to be putting in all their stuff, and it's just going to be kids running in and out. You want to make sure that you have as much space as possible when it comes time to practicality, because it's one thing to have a house that's aesthetically pleasing, and there's the next thing to actually have a house be really practical. So we put a lot of thought behind the actual functionality of the way things are going to be placed around. So then, you don't have to really think of awkward positioning for things, and then later down the line you have to readjust or re-renovate things. You don't want to do that. When you come into a house, especially a newly renovated house, you want to make sure the product is perfect. The product's already good to go. All you have to do is sign the dotted line and just, you know, live and make memories at the home. So when we're coming into here, the main thing that we think about with a family bathroom is that we're gonna have a ton of kids using the sink. The last thing you want is everybody fighting over the one sink. So we're gonna have a double vanity right here. The double vanity is gonna be great because, again, you're gonna have one person washing their hands, the next person brushing their teeth. So you can see that reflected right here with our plumbing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually have the vanity right here in the middle, and then we're gonna have it so there's gonna be open space right here, because we're gonna have a nice shelving space when it comes time to putting any type of miscellaneous things you need for storage. You'll have all this shelving right here, couple rows, and we're also going to have a sliding door that's going to be coming in to separate the actual bathroom part. So let's say someone wants to wash their hands that were coming in as guests and they don't want to be disturbed while they're taking a shower or using the toilet. We'll have a sliding door that will come in seamlessly, that's going to come in and it's going to be covered from the shelving, so it's going to just slide in and it's going to be completely perfect. But if you ever wanted to close it up, you just pop it back out and it's going to come in and close the door right here, and that's where it's going to come in to this part of the bathroom, where you're gonna have the toilet right here, you'll have a tub shower, and it's just right there for you. Now we're gonna head down into the basement and see what happened over here, because this is arguably the most drastic change that we had since the last update. Well, as mentioned in the last episode, this basement is gonna be a huge entertaining space. I really think that this is gonna be the part that really sells this project. When people come down here, they're gonna think so many things, whether it be man cave, whether it be kid play space, whether it be storage, whether it be home movie theater, whatever you wanna do. We're gonna basically set out the framework to be kind of designed as you wish. You know, so we're gonna set up the LVP tile, we're gonna do the nice whitewash paint on the walls, we'll do the blackout ceilings, we're gonna do can lighting, so it's gonna be nice, well lit over here, because this space is not gonna be finished, but it will basically double the size of the house. And obviously all you have to do is insulate it, sheetrock it, and you can, you know, make this a living space for whatever you choose to do. This is the most drastic part from our last episode. This is where we did all the new plumbing. So if you remember, upstairs we had pretty much the kitchen, the bathrooms, all in the same general area. You're gonna see that all the plumbing now routes into this part of the wall. If you remember from before, we had this huge ugly pipe sitting in the middle of the basement, and that basically killed all of the functionality, because it makes it so when kids are running around the basement, you don't want them kind of bumping into something, especially like a cast iron metal pipe, you know, because then it's gonna hurt them and stuff. So we made it so we redid all the plumbing. It's gonna be all flush against the wall, but also great because when it comes time to doing any type of maintenance or repairs or anything, all your systems are in one place. You don't have to worry about anything. And we're still gonna leave these ceilings exposed too. So if you ever wanted to quickly change a wire, plug anything that's kind of leaking or anything, patch anything up, it's all there for your convenience. But you can see right here on the flooring, we cut up all the concrete. Reason why is because we wanted to redo the plumbing underneath as well, because over time, cast iron steel does rust. We didn't have any issues with leaks or anything, but we had the sentiment that if you're gonna redo one thing, why don't you redo everything? Because if you're gonna do something, you might as well do it right, especially since the fact that we're gonna be doing this for a family that's gonna be living here for generations. You really can't be cheaping out on these things, because if you're cheaping out, then it really shows in your work. How you do it, one thing is how you do everything. So make sure that you're doing everything right to begin with. So you can see right here, we cut up all the plumbing. We're routing it down. Obviously, when it comes time to plumbing, you want that natural force. So we have it so there's a slanted elevation. So the pipes are now slanted downwards to make it so it naturally falls down into that portion of the corner, which you can see right there in the corner of the room. We do have a sump pump, which was there before. And now it's naturally just gonna flow into here. In case if there's any buildup or any backup, we'll have the sump pump just pump it out. So you're never gonna have any issues with water or anything like that. We did have our mechanical systems on this side. We had our boiler and we had our water heater over here as well. What's great about now is that we got rid of everything. We're gonna patch up all these ventilations for the boiler, because now we're not gonna have any baseboard systems for heating or you know, any window units or anything too. So this is not going to be needed anymore, because now we're going to switch from a boiler to a furnace, and we're going to have a new hot water heater as well, because might as well. And we're going to push all of the mechanical systems to be one side of the room, because what's the point of having one thing here and the one thing on the other side? It kills the whole space. So we want to make sure that we can just tuck everything to the side and leave the rest of the space to do as you wish. So as mentioned, we're going to have our panels right here. We have our new plumbing as well for our main water valve, for the main water line. We have a shutoff valve right there. So you can see all brand new copper. The work has been done very neatly, very, very concisely. You can see everything is color coded correctly. It's not really anything that you could really confuse too much. But you'll see right here, we have our electrical panels. We're gonna have our furnace, and we're gonna have our hot water heater right here. And then further down, we're gonna have our laundry systems. So we'll have our laundry included with the basement as well, with the actual final home as well. You'll have your laundry machines, your washer and dryer, and we'll have the hookups right there obviously as well. And that's pretty much everything in the basement when it comes time to the electrical, plumbing, mechanical. Obviously, we're still waiting on our installation inspection to be completed, which is going to happen on Monday. But once that's all done, then we're going to be good to go for sheetrocking. And that's when this place is going to look less like a construction site, and it's going to look more so like a proper home. I think you guys will be very happy with the way that we're going to have the final product come out to be. I'm looking forward to the next episode where we're going to be talking about the sheetrocking and the finishes. And I'm excited to see you guys at that one too. So take care. See you there.